I asked Rambal what is his secret behind his unique abilities. He believes the powerful vibration of his repetitive mantra, combined with his pranayama, devotion to his guru and God, all combined together, make up the secret to his power. He quickly adds that he has a long way to go and a lot to learn. He doesn't want to take credit for his achievements. He wants to condition his body and mind further to continue his spiritual journey. His beard catches fire, but he swiftly brushes it away. The Swami believes firmly that his ceremonial prayers have solved many problems for others. He uses his prayers for others' welfare. He says, I am offering and surrendering all my body, senses, and intellect as unconditional sacrifice to fire. That's why my prayers yield results for others. Now Rambal's body burns, but he remains unaffected. When he gets up, the fire seems to have hurt him. We can see his painful reaction, but he quickly recovers. Rambal says, pleasure and pain exist only when the mind is attached to the body. When the mind is withdrawn from the body and focused totally on the creative majesty of fire, fire doesn't hurt you. You are fire, and fire is you. I asked Rambal whether he can teach his techniques to firefighters and emergency workers. He said he certainly could. I asked Rambal whether he is fire resistant at all times. He replied, when I am in my normal state of mind, I am like everyone else, and fire will certainly hurt me. I am not a magician. He explains, by controlling the mind, fire can be befriended. The mind can do wonders. Rambal believes that he is not very special and anyone can develop these abilities. He says the mind and body will listen to the inner self once a certain threshold is crossed. One only needs determination and willpower. In order to achieve a certain goal, I chanted my secret mantra non-stop for 18 days. No food, no sleep, just a glass of lime juice once every 10 hours. This happened 25 years ago. The first step of the initiation process involves the chanting of certain mantras, as much as 200,000 times, taking as long as 400 hours at the rate of 500 chants an hour. He says, on a daily basis, it is necessary to control one's intake of food, water, and sleep to condition the mind and body. He strongly believes that unconditional prayers, hope, faith, and love will always produce miraculous results in healing others. His final food offering, consisting of lentil cakes, assorted fruits, and finally a mixture of herbs and flowers. When I first saw the huge list of items needed for the ritual, I was overwhelmed. I wondered why he possibly needed so much. I also wondered how long it would take to offer these items. I never realized that the ritual would go on for 14 hours. I asked him, does he ever miss the joy of eating a variety of foods or drinking water? He said, I am enjoying something more divine. I wish I could describe it to you in words. Rambao is now holding a rare antique dispenser, offering ghee to the fire. He then circles the fireplace, repeating the offering. During the ritual, Rambao prefers that others do not touch him due to differences in body temperatures and electrical energies. When others touch him, he receives a shock, which distracts him. He then loses concentration rapidly. It takes a long time for him to rebuild his focus and concentration. When I am in deep contact with the fire, my pulse rate must be very low and my breathing is nearly suspended. Sometimes onlookers become concerned seeing me in the fire. They try to rescue me. I appreciate their love and affection for me, but I am safe in the fire, and I know the fire will not harm me. As the ritual is drawing to a close, Rambao builds a pyramid over the fire consisting of more offerings, milk, flowers, cow dung slabs, and herbal green. He covers the makeshift pyramid with a large silk cloth, while underneath, the fire continues to smolder. After nearly 13 hours, Rambao displays very few visible signs of exhaustion. He appears blissful, oblivious to the surrounding environment. Rambao had once performed the same 14-hour ritual for an absolutely incredible 27 long days without a break. How does this 63-year-old man endure such a long period of time? Finally, as the ritual comes to an end, Rambao breaks his fast, sipping only 3 drops of water. He then pays A scientist or a rationalist would ask, what if Rambo is using any fire-retardant material on his clothing? What must have been his body temperature? What is the temperature inside the fireplace? We will find out later. I asked him why his clothing and hair did not catch fire. He replied that he was in union with the fire, and fire is friendly to him, and the fire does not harm him. This raging inferno is now engulfing Rambo. He adjusts himself to a comfortable position. The fire is blowing in all directions. I can no longer bear the heat or the smoke, so I move away. I asked him what technique he uses to get into union with the fire. This was his brief explanation. I internally magnify the fire several 100,000 times, and there comes a point where I get linked and united with the magnified fire. This minute focus is my link. It is hard to notice his technique because it appears so effortless. Later on, it became apparent to me that he never tries to hide any information. In a typical landmark style of Indian yogis, I would get a small piece of the puzzle every time I talked to him. Then I would carefully reconstruct everything he had said to me, and a few days later, I would verify the facts. Rambo has entered an altered state. His head is bulged and features appear stiff. Rambo seems to be communicating with the fire by using sign language. There is no set amount of time for how long he stays in the fire. It ranges from 1 to 10 minutes at a stretch. Now the fire is blazing, reaching heights above 9 feet. Rambo himself takes a break and returns. Throughout the ritual, Rambo typically holds his breath while he continues to chant his secret mantra. The breathing cycle starts at 1.5 minutes and slowly increases to 3 minutes, then peaks at 5 minutes for each inhale. That is how he reaches a near complete focus and control over his physical senses and consciousness. By any standard of measure, it is a remarkable feat. Rambo told me that if he does not follow this breathing technique, he would be severely burned. Rambo adds more sticks to the fireplace. He periodically has to take time to refocus on his connection with the fire. Rambo explained to me that by holding his breath, it allows him to concentrate and focus his energy. All his senses and thoughts will remain largely suspended, and he will have just 10% realization of what's happening. Rambo doesn't show any sign of being tired or weakened despite this intense ritual and his fasting since morning. By now, he has been in fire for an hour and a half. Our cameramen were constantly looking for some bruises or burns on his feet, hands, shoulders, or any part of his exposed body, but there was none. I asked Rambau, how critical is it to have a guru to follow? He states without his guru's blessings, grace, and training, he could not have accomplished anything. He owes everything to him. Again, Rambau starts feeding the fire, now with herbal green, a medicinal herb with religious significance. This is traditionally used with the worship of Ganesha. Herbal green is also used as a treatment for diabetes. When viewing the rising flames, we only see part of the fire. There is actually more heat coming from beneath him that's generated by a 4-foot-deep bed of coals. Rambau knows that the herbal smoke has medicinal value. Aromatherapy of ancient Indian medicine is based on this principle. He has heard of cases where people with terminal illnesses have been cured by inhaling the herbal smoke during the ritual. He would like to have this scientifically researched to prove its validity. I cannot explain the type of excitement and intoxication the audience experiences. Their anticipation increases, much like the intensification of the fire. They want to see him challenge even bigger flames. I wonder if Rambau feels as if he is holding a beloved baby as he stands to walk around the fireplace.